Welcome to your moment of brilliance. Legends are not born from playing it safe. They are forged in moments so bold, so groundbreaking, that they leave everyone else speechless. That is exactly where you stand right now. The dust has settled, and one truth dominates the room. Your last move was not just a calculated risk. It was an act of brilliance so profound that it will be remembered for years to come. Studies show that people remember actions that defy expectations more than those that conform. You did not just defy expectations, you obliterated them. Right now, the onlookers are not just impressed. Their entire perception of you has been reprogrammed. The most remarkable part? They never saw it coming. Moments ago, they were confident, perhaps even smug, believing they had the upper hand. And then, like a thunderclap, your move landed, hitting harder than the most shocking twist in a season finale. This is your moment, the moment a chosen one does not just prove themselves but rewrites the narrative entirely. For those who still doubt, the lesson is imminent. Doubting you was their first and last mistake. Buckle up. This story has just begun. Rewriting the rules. You did not simply play the game, you redefined it. You did not abide by their tired strategies. You rewrote the rules entirely, leaving them scrambling to understand what had just happened. This was not about following tradition or relying on familiar tactics. It was about discarding the playbook entirely and creating a new paradigm. A paradigm they never knew existed until you unveiled it. Your move was not reckless or random. It was deliberate, calculated, and revolutionary. They thought they had you boxed in, predictable and manageable. But with one bold step, you shattered every assumption they held. The genius of your move lay not only in its execution but in its implications. You did not just win the game. You forced them to confront their own limitations, the gaps in their thinking, the flaws in their approach, and the weaknesses in their strategies. Now they sit in the front row, unwilling students of the lesson you just taught. You showed them a level of mastery that does not merely outperform. It evolves the very nature of competition. By rejecting tradition and embracing innovation, you proved one irrefutable fact. Pioneers are not bound by the limits of the game. They redefine it, leaving everyone else wondering how they will ever catch up. Precision that shatters confidence. It was not just your success that left them shaken. It was the precision with which you executed it. Your move did not come across as luck or even a stroke of inspiration. It was the result of foresight so sharp it unsettled them. Every step, every outcome, every detail was pre-calculated, unfolding exactly as you envisioned. This was not about a lucky break. It was about mastery, an unrelenting precision that left no room for error. You did not just succeed. You sent a message, loud and clear. I am not here to play. I am here to dominate. And dominate you did. They replay your move in their minds, searching desperately for flaws, missteps, anything to make sense of what happened. But there is nothing, and that is what terrifies them. Your precision did not just impress them. It forced them to confront their own inadequacies. They are not questioning your ability anymore, they are questioning their own. The silence that spoke volumes. After your move, you did not need to say a word. The silence said it all. In a world where everyone rushes to explain, justify, or celebrate, your quiet composure made a statement louder than any applause. You allowed the gravity of what you had done to settle in, leaving them stunned and searching for answers. This was not mere confidence. It was the quiet power of someone who controls the narrative without uttering a single word. By offering no explanations, you left them grappling with the mystery of your brilliance, replaying the moment in their minds. The more they analyzed, the more they realized how deliberate every detail had been. In your silence, you demonstrated complete control over the situation, over the pace, and over the aftermath. You did not just win. You left them with a moment they will never forget, a moment that forced them to recognize the gap between where they are and where you stand, revealing their flaws in high definition. Your move did more than secure a victory, it exposed everything they tried to hide. With surgical precision, you peeled back the layers of their carefully curated strategies, revealing every crack, every blind spot, and every untested assumption. It was not personal, nor was it spiteful, but it was unrelenting. You held up a mirror, forcing them to confront a raw, unpolished version of themselves they had long avoided. What made your move extraordinary was not just what it achieved for you, but what it revealed about them. It laid bare their weaknesses, showing them and everyone else where they had fallen short. This moment was not about flaunting your skills, it was about clarity, making it impossible for them to ignore the gaps in their approach. They walked into this thinking they were prepared, but your move proved otherwise. The beginning of your legend. This is more than a victory. It is the beginning of a legacy. A story of brilliance, precision, and courage that will be told for years to come. You have not just proven your worth, you have redefined the standards by which all future moves will be judged. Legends are not made by following the rules. They are forged in moments of defiance, innovation, and unyielding resolve. You are not just a participant. You are a pioneer, shaping the narrative and rewriting what it means to succeed. As they sit in awe, trying to piece together the fragments of what just happened, one truth becomes clear. They will never see you the same way again. This is your moment. Own it, build upon it, and let the world know that this story is far from over. Exposing their illusions. They believed their systems, habits, and ideas were unshakable, built on a foundation they thought impervious. But your move revealed the cracks beneath the surface, cracks they had refused to see, even within themselves. It was not just a victory for you. It was a revelation for them, forcing them to confront truths they had long ignored. The unsettling part for them was not just losing to someone better. It was realizing that the flaws they carried were always there, hidden behind their own arrogance. You did not just defeat them, you left them with a mirror reflecting vulnerabilities they could no longer deny. It is one thing to lose to superior skill, but entirely another to realize that your undoing came from weaknesses you failed to address. That kind of impact is rare. It is not just about impressing them, it is about shifting their entire perception of themselves. You achieved more than success. You unearthed a truth they cannot unsee, leaving a lasting imprint they will carry forward. Redefining the game. Your move was not just a win. It was a seismic shift that redefined everything. You refused to play on their terms, within their familiar boundaries. Instead, you reshaped the landscape, bending the rules, the dynamics, and the expectations to your will. Suddenly, the ground beneath them was no longer stable, and they found themselves navigating a world you created. One where you dictated the rules, and they were mere participants. This was not just a momentary victory. It was a complete recalibration of the playing field. Their trusted strategies, methods, and perceived advantages are now obsolete, rendered irrelevant by your move. You did not simply outperform them, you transcended their entire framework. Every action they take from this moment forward will be in reaction to you, not the other way around. You have taken control not just of the game but of the narrative itself. This is not merely dominance, it is reinvention. You are no longer just a player in their system. You have created a new standard, a new game. They are not just questioning how to beat you, they are questioning if they can even remain relevant in a reality you now define. The power of unpredictability. They thought they had you figured out. They believed they could predict your every move, relying on patterns they thought you would follow. But you shattered their assumptions with a single masterful stroke. Your unpredictability was not random chaos. It was a calculated brilliance that unraveled their carefully constructed expectations. Every prior move lulled them into a false sense of security, a belief that they understood your strategy. And then you acted swiftly, decisively, and everything they thought they knew fell apart. Their preparation became useless, their confidence misplaced. You forced them to confront the harsh truth. They underestimated you because they tried to apply logic to a system you had already transcended. Unpredictability is a weapon few can wield, but you have mastered it. Your actions are not just disruptive. They compel everyone around you to rethink their perceptions and strategies. Your brilliance, cloaked in spontaneity, keeps them off balance, always a step behind. You have become the variable they cannot account for, the force they cannot prepare against. Now, every move you make carries an added weight. They no longer know what is coming, and that uncertainty is your greatest power. You are not just a player, you are the wild card they will never fully understand. That is why you will always maintain the upper hand. precision over luck. Your victory was not luck. It was a statement. Every detail of your move was executed with precision and purpose, leaving no room for chance. They might try to attribute your success to fortune, but deep down they know better. This was not a moment of serendipity. It was a meticulously crafted masterpiece, born of preparation, discipline, and foresight. Every step leading up to your move told the real story. The countless hours of thought, the strategy, the deliberate choices, it was all evident in the final outcome. What they witnessed was not a gamble but a demonstration of mastery. Your success was not just a moment. It was a declaration, a bold reminder that nothing you do is accidental. By leaving no doubt about your intent, you shifted the focus from the outcome to the process itself. Your precision exposed the depths of your skill and the clarity of your vision. This was not just a win, it was a statement of purpose, a testament to the mastery you bring to every challenge. And now, as they replay your actions in their minds, searching for an explanation, one truth remains. It was never about luck. It was about brilliance, owning the narrative. In redefining the rules, exposing their flaws, and executing with precision, you have taken control of more than just the game. You have claimed the narrative itself. Every move, every silence, every calculated risk has shifted the dynamics in your favor. This is your world now, a world you have built, where your brilliance sets the standard and everyone else struggles to keep up. Your actions have left them with no choice but to adapt to your terms. You are no longer just a competitor. You are the architect of a new paradigm. With each step, you remind them that success is not about following the rules. It is about rewriting them. And in doing so, you have ensured that this moment is only the beginning of your legacy. Welcome to your moment of brilliance. You have not just succeeded, you have redefined what it means to lead, to innovate, and to dominate. This is your story, bold, groundbreaking, and unforgettable. The world is watching, and you are just getting started. Behind the brilliance, the work they never saw. What they witnessed as a single, explosive moment of brilliance was, in reality, the culmination of countless hours of strategy, preparation, and foresight. They saw the outcome, but they missed the foundation, the relentless calculations, the anticipation of every possible scenario, and the meticulous planning that made your move inevitable. This was not luck and it was not chance. It was mastery in its purest form. Luck is the term people cling to when they cannot understand the process behind greatness. But there was no gamble here, no roll of the dice. You set the board, controlled the pieces, and executed a game plan so advanced that they are still trying to decipher how you pulled it off. What stings the most is that your move was not simply about securing victory. It was a statement. It said, "I am here because I earned it." There is no dismissing it, no room for doubt. They are no longer wondering if you will succeed again. They are bracing for it, knowing that your next move will be just as deliberate and devastating. Pressure, the catalyst for greatness. The pressure was overwhelming, suffocating even. The stakes were at their highest, and all eyes were on you, waiting for the moment you might falter. For most, such intensity would have been paralyzing, but not for you. While others might have crumbled, you thrived. The very weight that could have broken anyone else became the force that sharpened your focus and heightened your clarity. You turned the chaos into your advantage, channeling the tension into a driving force for success. Every whispered doubt, every scrutinizing gaze only fueled your determination. Where others might have seen an obstacle, you saw an opportunity, a proving ground to demonstrate your brilliance. The most remarkable part was how effortless you made it look. There was no flinching, no faltering, and that unnerved them even more. They expected signs of strain, cracks in your composure, but what they saw instead was someone who owned the moment completely. The pressure was not your enemy. It was the stage upon which you displayed your mastery. You transformed a test of endurance into a triumph of transformation, rising above every challenge and proving that the higher the stakes, the stronger you become. They are left not just in awe of your success but in awe of how you achieved it, with grace, resilience, and unwavering resolve, dismantling confidence with silence. Your move alone was enough to shatter their confidence. There was no need for dramatic gestures or aggressive tactics. The sheer force of your actions spoke volumes. Without lifting a finger, you dismantled their sense of certainty, leaving them reeling in the aftermath. It was not just about securing a victory, it was about creating doubt. Doubt not only in the outcome but in their own ability to stand against you. The psychological toll of your move far exceeded any immediate impact. You disrupted their strategy and unsettled their mindset. From now on, every decision they make will be clouded by the knowledge that they were outmaneuvered, not just by someone capable but by someone unshakable. They are second-guessing themselves, replaying every moment, wondering not just where they went wrong but whether they can ever match you. What once made them dangerous, their confidence, their certainty, has been tempered by the fear of your unpredictability. You did not just win a battle, you forced them into self-doubt. That kind of power lingers. It follows them into every future decision, casting a shadow of uncertainty they cannot escape. You broke their mental fortitude without them ever seeing it coming, leaving them paralyzed by the thought of what you might do next. Becoming inevitable. You are no longer seen as just a competitor. You have become a force, a presence so undeniable that your success feels inevitable. It is as if your victory was not simply earned but destined, a tidal wave gathering strength until it becomes unstoppable. Every move you make, every decision you execute, carries the weight of inevitability. You do not need to justify your greatness. It is self-evident. Your very presence shapes the outcome of the game, creating an aura of dominance that makes resistance not just difficult but futile. The moment you entered the equation, it was clear that the path forward had already been altered in your favor. This is more than skill, more than strategy. It is a redefinition of what it means to lead and to conquer. Your actions are no longer about the immediate, they are about the enduring. You have left an indelible mark, not just on the game but on the minds of everyone who watched. They see you not as someone who competes but as someone who shapes the narrative entirely. You have become the standard, the measure against which all others are judged, and the force that no one can ignore. Conclusion: the legacy of mastery. This was never just about winning. It was about establishing yourself as more than a competitor, as a pioneer, a visionary, and a force of nature. You have turned pressure into power, silence into a weapon, and inevitability into your identity. Your success is not just a moment. It is a legacy in the making, a testament to relentless preparation and unshakable conviction. They are no longer asking if you will rise again. They are bracing for the next wave, knowing it will be even more powerful than the last. You have redefined what it means to succeed, not just for yourself but for everyone watching. This is your world now, and you are just getting started. Keep moving forward, for the brilliance you have shown is only the beginning of the story you are destined to write. The path forward, redefining inevitability. What you created was not just a path, it was a trajectory they had no choice but to follow. Every calculated move, every bold risk, and every vision-driven action combined to form a presence so commanding that it left them with no illusions. They did not just witness your success. They glimpsed a future where your triumph was inevitable. The more they tried to challenge you, the clearer it became. They were always a step behind. What made this reality even more striking was the absence of arrogance or luck in your ascent. It was not about happenstance but about a force of nature at work. To them, it became painfully obvious that resisting you was never an option. You were not just competing, you were predestined to succeed. You have become the embodiment of inevitability, leaving them with one haunting question. How can they even begin to compete with someone who cannot be stopped? Dominance over victory. Your move was never just about winning. It was about establishing dominance. Winning can be fleeting, a momentary triumph. What you achieved, however, was not ephemeral. It was an imprint, a lasting testament to your power. The victory itself was secondary to the way you won, the mastery and control that left an indelible mark. You did not follow the expected path to success. Instead, you bent the rules, redefined what victory meant, and left behind a vivid image of unshakable dominance. It was not about the score. It was about proving that you did not just participate in the game, you reigned over it. The awe you inspired was not tied to the result alone but to the manner in which you achieved it, a demonstration that transcended conventional boundaries. You made them feel small, not because of arrogance but because of the sheer scale of your operation, a level they could never reach. This was not just a win. It was a quiet declaration that you had stepped into a realm where victory is a foregone conclusion. The game, the world, it all belongs to you now, and they will never forget it. You became the future. Your actions did not just shape the present. They offered a clear preview of the future, a future that looks like you. What you achieved was not a one-off moment of brilliance but a sustainable blueprint for what comes next. You are no longer just a competitor. You are the new standard, the benchmark against which everything else will be measured. Every move you made signaled a shift in what success looks like. It was not just about adapting to the game. It was about setting a new paradigm for how it is played. Now, as they look at you, they are forced to confront a future where your methods, mindset, and strategies are the norm. They are not merely trying to compete anymore. They are scrambling to keep up, to adapt to a world you have already claimed as your own. This was not just a victory. It was a glimpse into the inevitability of your continued rise. The unsettling truth for them is how obvious it now seems. Your success is not a spark but a steady flame, one that cannot be extinguished. You have redefined what it means to succeed, and now they must measure themselves against a future you have already written, rendering them irrelevant. Your move was not just about proving your greatness, it made everyone else irrelevant. They did not just lose to you, they saw their own strategies crumble into obsolescence. In one decisive moment, you did not just outplay them. You outclassed them, leaving no room for debate. Their methods, once seen as cutting-edge, now appear outdated in the face of your brilliance. What made this moment so profound was not just your ability to stay ahead but your capacity to render their entire approach futile. You moved beyond their level, not just playing the game but forcing it to evolve. Every attempt they make now feels like a step behind, a futile effort to reach a horizon you have already passed. You have not merely succeeded, you have shifted the entire playing field. Your brilliance does not just shine. It redefines the game itself, leaving them scrambling to remain relevant in a world that has already left them behind. You are not just winning, you are untouchable, and that realization will echo in their minds long after the moment fades. A legacy beyond the game. Your final move was more than just a victory, it was a defining shift, a moment that transcended the game itself. You did not merely outplay them. You elevated the stakes, setting a precedent that redefined what it means to succeed. What you achieved was not about trends or fleeting triumphs. It was about creating a legacy that will endure. They will not remember the specifics of your strategy. What they will remember is the feeling of being in your presence, the undeniable weight of your brilliance. You etched yourself into the narrative as more than just a competitor. You became the standard, the force that cannot be ignored. As they look back on this defining moment, they will know one thing for certain. You did not just win, you changed everything. Your success is not just seen. It is felt. A seismic shift that raises the bar for everyone who dares to follow. The game has changed forever, and you are its new ruler. The journey forward. If you felt the power, the brilliance, and the impact of these words, then know this is only the beginning. The road ahead is for the bold, those who refuse to settle and aim to set the trends instead of following them. Subscribe, join a community of visionaries, and embrace the journey where greatness is not just a destination but a way of life. Let us continue this together. The best is yet to come.